Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well today. What a day we've had already. I cannot believe that I missed what I missed last night, or not even last night, technically this morning. And you know what I'm talking about. You know what happened? I woke up this morning, yeah? 7:30 a.m., right? It was wonderful. I was like, oh, I've had good sleep, fantastic. I pull over, I look at my phone. I'm like, oh. What? Hang on. Al-Hilal will play Fluminense in the next round. I'm like, half asleep. Oh, this don't make sense. Al-Hilal, I swear Al-Hilal. No. The way I woke up was incredible. I think, listen, that hit of adrenaline will be more powerful than any caffeine that you can have in the morning. Seeing Man City having lost to Al-Hilal 4-3, that's the best way to wake up. But I can't believe I missed that. Although, listen, for me it was 5 a.m. For those in the UK, it was 2 a.m. You got to bed at 4-ish or close to 5. It is what it is. For me, I would have had to get up at, I don't know, 4 a.m. or something, which we're going to have to do for Chelsea on Friday anyway. But I cannot believe Man City have been knocked out by Al-Hilal. I told you guys, Saudi football's no joke. It's no joke. It's no joke. But I got to be honest, I wasn't expecting that, man. I didn't think Saudi football was that advanced yet. I mean, Man City, what the hell is going on? You know what that means? For Chelsea, oh my God. Yeah? I had a feeling we'd play PSG this tournament, but I thought it'd be in the quarterfinal, not the final. We've got to play Palmeiras. After that, we either play Fluminense or Al-Hilal. Let there be light. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts on that. I've seen the highlights. Unbelievable. Al-Hilal looked crisp. Absolutely crisp. So very, very good performance from them. Historic performance from Al-Hilal. You know, it's one thing being bought by oil. It's another thing being born in it. You know, it's what it is. Sorry, City. Listen, there's one level of oil heritage none of us can reach to. Go and talk to Al-Hilal. So, let's get up and running with the latest. What has happened with Arsenal? Well, let's get into it. Here's the latest. Florian Plettenberg saying, understand Arsenal have already submitted an offer to Noni Madueke. 23-year-old winger could leave Chelsea in the summer. Talks have started. Madueke is one of several top profiles Arsenal are assessing for this position. Arsenal are still considering a transfer for Rodrigo, should he wish to leave Real Madrid. And to be fair, I mean, yeah, should he wish? I mean, should he wish? Any of us would probably want to go for Rodrigo. So, but this is what I'm talking about. I told you guys for a while that if someone around here is going to leave, it's going to be Madueke. There's some people that actually think I hate Madueke. It's mad because every time I mention his name, I've got people thinking I'm a hater. I don't hate Madueke. The only thing I hate about Madueke are his socks. Yeah, legitimately. His socks, that cutting of the socks needs to stop. Yeah, just like Levi Colwell told us, that's a trend. It's utter woke nonsense. Game's gone, as Levi Colwell said. Well, that's the one thing that I dislike about Madueke is the way he's got to cut up his socks, making it look like he got chopped up by a crocodile. I mean, it's got that's the only thing. Apart from that, no, I'm not against having the player at the club. What I'm saying is, if someone is going to be made available, it's going to be Madueke. And now I'm putting Jackson in that tier too. And lo and behold, we knew Newcastle were interested last season. Now it's Arsenal that are interested. I'm not surprised. I think for Arsenal, coming in for Madueke, I'm a little bit like, how? But considering what a few of you have said, and it makes sense, Saka's injury record is not healthy. So, as a rotational player there, someone that can come in and fill in, whilst obviously they're playing in 4 competitions, Champions League included, yeah, maybe for Arsenal it works. I think for Madueke, it means less game time. But anyway, we've got more. Let's get into it. Fabrizio saying, Noni Madueke remains one of the names on Arsenal's shortlist. No bids or proposals so far. So, seems like early days, but there's more. There's more. Let's get into this. So no bids or proposals so far for Madueke. However, he's on Arsenal's list. But then we have this. Now, this is an Arsenal page. And I think apparently they post reliable Arsenal news. So here's the latest from their point. Noni Madueke, Arsenal side is the club have been speaking to his reps the past few weeks. The club hold genuine interest in Noni, but talks are not advanced on personal terms. No proposal made to the player either as of today. Chelsea, club officials have denied any bid being made, which is legit, true. So far, it seems the case. On the player side, the player has expressed interest in our project, but has reservations about competing with Saka. Furthermore, the player is not keen on playing left wing either. In truth, the interest is genuine, but as of today, it's as you were. It sounds fair. That sounds pretty logical. I don't know this Arsenal page, but in the Arsenal community, it seems pretty big. So I thought I would show you guys. Obviously, nothing put forward to Arsenal. Well, at least between Arsenal and Chelsea. Nothing put through to Chelsea. Anything on the player side, his camp, it seems to all be aligning in terms of what Florian Plettenberger said, that talks with Madueke have started, right? Arsenal have submitted an offer to Noni, so it's personal terms, perhaps. We'll see what else transpires. But Madueke, I'll be honest, I'm going to give you guys a prediction. I think he gets sold. I think it's inevitable. One way or another, I think Madueke is gone. I've come to peace with that, personally. Because, okay, if I'm going to be from myself now, my opinion, based on who we are bringing in, and I will get to the player that I'm going to mention next. If he comes in especially, we're in the position where we can let Madueke go and it's going to be okay. But you could argue it depends on outgoings. Like Jackson now, it depends on outgoings. Depends on them being able to go through who we are bringing in. In terms of our striker position, João Pedro, Liam Delap are in. Now, again, it's funny. It's the same. It's the same player, really, that I think is going to unlock both of them. So let's get into it. Here's the latest on Kudus. Fabrizio saying, I think Chelsea will do more. I will not be surprised if Chelsea add one more offensive player, and I still expect Chelsea to add a centre-back in the summer transfer window, right? Now, when we get into the latest on Kudus, it's talks between Kudus and Tottenham on project personal terms are underway. Positive approach. Kudus open to joining Spurs, while talks continue with both player and West Ham sides. There are two more clubs still involved in this race. That's Chelsea. And who? Maybe Newcastle. I'm having to try and... Because Newcastle are desperate to sign someone at this point. But who else? I don't know. With Kudus, look, Kudus comes in, he offers depth as anywhere in the front line. So he's a third option, technically, to João Pedro and Liam Delap. He's an option on the right wing, which means Madueke can go to. And he's someone that can fill in the 10 and can fill in on the left. He's versatile everywhere. So it means Kudus coming in frees up Chelsea's ability to let go of Jackson and Madueke. That's what I think is going to be what Chelsea are waiting for here. If there's an opportunity to bring Kudus in and they know it's legit and they're in, the sanction, the move for Madueke and Jackson, if anyone comes in for Jackson, right now there's nothing. But Madueke will be sanctioned. That's how I'm seeing it. This is just my analysis. It's the way that I'm looking at it and how I think it will transpire. That's all I'm saying. Why? Because financially, it's going to make sense to sell those players when you've already got the replacements in through the door. There's going to be outgoings. And you have to look at who is an upgrade to who. Now, having João Pedro and Liam Delap and bringing Kudus in, I think people will be happy to see Nicholas Jackson go. That's no debate. The debate is bringing Kudus in and letting Madueke go. That's a debate. For me, Kudus is an upgrade on Madueke. Some will say no, because Madueke is the younger player and the one that is still getting better. But I think Kudus comes in and we get an upgrade immediately. Based on where Madueke is now and where Kudus is now, I think Kudus is further. I think that's logical. and we kind of need something for right now. So I would come and I would take Kudus. I don't think Chelsea would be struggling without Madueke. I think we'll be fine. So it's based on that. Now, when you use that and how much money you can get, if Arsenal come in for Madueke, it's going to be 50, 60 mil. Guaranteed. 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 Chelsea will do it, considering we bought him for what, 30, 32 or somewhere there? Chelsea will do that. Chelsea will pull it off. If you get, in the meantime, Kudus to come in, Bob's your uncle. So we'll see what happens. But Kudus right now, Tottenham seem to be the front runners. All I'm going to say to that, this is pretty straightforward. All I'm going to say to that is let Kudus deal with Tottenham. Yeah, let him deal with Tottenham. Let him even have a medical. Some of you may know where I'm going with this. He hates Tottenham. He hates Tottenham. Remember who, yeah? Who had a medical there? Yeah, it's fine. That doesn't mean it's done. Let him have a medical at Tottenham and then we'll swoop in. Yeah? We'll just let history repeat itself. No problem. Because it's the history of the Tottenham, and in this case, it's the history of the Chelsea. So, we'll see what happens with Kudus. Let me know your thoughts on that one. And let's move to a couple of other stories before we wrap up. Latest on Josh Achiempong. Chelsea have made it clear that defender Josh Achiempong will not be sold. That's from The Athletic. Okay, we'll remember that. That one has been put on the shelf then. We'll remember that. He better not be. Straight up. If not, that's getting pulled up again. So, Achiempong, safe. I'm happy to hear. Cool. The Athletic also go into detail on Tyreek George. Chelsea are considering loaning out Tyreek George. There is interest from a lot of clubs in the winger, and Chelsea want him to develop by getting regular game time. You see, this I can understand. This I can understand, and I'm all for it. Because right now, look, let's be honest. If Gittins walks in now, Pedro walks in now, who can play off the left if he has to. If we bring in Kudus as well, then flipping we're stacked. Pedro Neto can play on the left. Tyreek George needs to play football. Tyreek George is at a point he needs to be playing. So just like players before him, just like everyone else has had to go through, it's like a rite of passage. At his age, he's got a lot of time on his hands. Not a problem. Send him out on a season loan. Even. Personally, I was going to say, even if it's the championship. Personally, I think Tyreek George has done well for where he's reached now in terms of his age. I think the championship would be setting him back. I would love a Premier League loan. Any top league. Send him to a top league, right? And let him have a loan. Let him play his football. Let him develop. Simple as that. Worst case scenario, you send him to Strasbourg. But I don't want that. I think Tyreek George needs to stay in England. That's one. Let him develop his game in the Premier League. That way he comes up to speed pretty quickly. So that's Tyreek George. Where do you want to see him go? Let me know. If you want to see him on loan. If you don't, let me know if you don't as well. I'd love to hear it. So that's the latest on Chelsea. We move. Marcus Rashford. There's an update from David Ornstein. Marcus Rashford prioritising move abroad if leaves Man United this summer. Club wants sell, but 23-year-old attacker also open to loan or swap deal if the right opportunity arises. Plus wants to compete for titles. Returns to Man United pre-season training July 7th. Man United's transfer window so far has been a joke. Let's just call it as it is. I mean, they're about to get back for pre-season and they've made one signing. You know, just Cunha. Considering where their club has been, in the mud. Fully in the mud. Not even in the mud, in the grave. Probably beyond the grave. In the sewers. You know, you'd think that there would be mad activity as soon as possible. They're going to start pre-season with the same squad. Plus Cunha. That's it. Not good. Not good. And for this, I can look at Chelsea and say, you know what? At least, I mean, the signings can be debatable. But at least business is being done early this time. And we wanted that. So I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad. So that's Marcus Rashford, though. A player like Marcus Rashford at 27 years old, he's meant to be in his prime, and it feels like he's 35. Is it just me? It feels like he's 35, that he's washed. Mad. Rashford. Crazy. Crazy. I don't know what to say on that. You see, this is the thing. When it comes to Man United players, it's actually difficult to comprehend whether it's the player or it's the club. Because Rashford went to Aston Villa and done decent. But I feel like there's been so much damage done to and with him that he's probably not going to recover from it. It's just, it's mad. This is why I don't want to go near Garnacho. I don't want... No one from United, please. No one. Because that club has done some unspeakable things to their players, I think, at this point. So, they're all damaged goods. That's how I see it anyway. So, I wouldn't want to risk. But Rashford, it's a shame. Rashford was Rashford at one point. Crazy. We'll see what happens. And to wrap it up, we started off talking about Al-Hilal and Man City. So, we're going to end talking about Al-Hilal and Man City. This is why. Look at this celebration. Listen, this celebration from this fan. He could try that a million times and he won't be able to replicate that. That is such a goated meme. That is going in the history books now. That's it. You best believe this is going to be used time and time again for the next 10 years. Respect to Al-Hilal. Habibi. Salam alaikum to all of you. And I'll see all of you on the next one later on. Make sure you're here later tonight. Much appreciated. Subscribe, notification bell on. Catch you then. In a bit. Take care and peace.